Hey, yo, what's gaming players? It's your boy, Desmond Sharpman, back out here on this Madden NFL 21 franchise mode. And we are here with the final 1 o'clock game here in week number 4. Now, we're almost done with week 4 because from my perspective, we only have 5 more games remaining before the final ending of week number 4. And we're hoping that it gets even more crazy in the 4 o'clock schedule than the Sunday game in San Francisco and then the Monday game in Green Bay. So in this matchup, 2 teams come in at 0-3, but one team is going to get their first win on the new season. We have the Houston Texans coming off losses against Kansas City, Baltimore, and then Pittsburgh, coming in at 0-3. They can most definitely use a win. And for Minnesota, they coming off losses to their division rival Packers, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Tennessee Titans. So they most definitely should get a W as well. But only one team can get their first W on the new campaign. Who's it going to be? We're going to find out in just a few moments. But before we get underway, if you have not seen the rest of week 4, if you haven't seen week number 3, if you haven't seen week 2, or if you haven't seen week number 1, make sure to go check those episodes out so you guys will not miss anything, and you guys will make sure how we got here. So with that being said, let's head up to Houston to find out which team will get their first W on the new campaign. Will it be the Minnesota Vikings, or will it be the Houston Texans? Let's find out.
Men gon' lie, women gon' lie. You're looking for the truth and the numbers don't hide. Looking for the root of all evil, then you need to go open up the briefcase, see with your eyes.
Today, from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, it's week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports. Texans taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 51 back in 2017, we are inside NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings.
As you saw the stats from KJ Tucker, he only caught the ball one time for 77 yards, and that was his only touchdown in the game against Pittsburgh.
Hey everyone, with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, and Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. Now, they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile,
all right, so the Texans, they're going to kick it off to the Vikings to start the game, as both teams look to get their first W on the new campaign. Who's it going to be? We're going to find out as we're underway from Houston. And this one's not going to be returned, so this one will end up as a touchback.
First drive will begin at the 25. Under center for the Vikings, out comes the former Michigan State Spartan and longtime veteran Kirk Cousins.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
And they'll be looking to get that first W of the new season right here. And on the first play, Cousins, and he'll go down. J.J. Watt picks up the sack.
That was J.J. Watt getting in there and getting him to the ground. That's called setting.
Now, he was talking to his coach. He was letting them know what's the game plan for this game against Minnesota. And he was like, y'all got to start getting sacks because you can see Kirk Cousins might not get the ball out of his hand sometimes, so y'all going to have to pressure him.
Hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Another try after the
Cousins looking again, and he's brought down. Wendy Merciless with the sack.
Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack.
Now that's the way to open up a game on defense. Back-to-back sacks. We know that someone's come to play today.
A miserable start here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and very long. Working out of the gun,
Cousins throwing. Oh, and that one would have been intercepted, but it's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
So the Vikings, they're going to punt this one away. And KJ Tucker's going to return it. And he'll go down shy of 50 to the 48.
And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10.
And you can see Deshaun Watson in his good start to the season so far. Only a yard away from getting 1,000 yards.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
Watson. Oh, and that one would have been intercepted.
They kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Watson throwing left side. Brandon Cooks completes it for a Texans 1st down.
Just shy of the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. On 1st and 10,
Watson play faking, firing for KJ Tucker. He was talking to his coach about getting him involved this game, and he gets his first catch for a 1st down.
Another 1st down.
He's trying to bounce back off that one catch game he had against Pittsburgh.
Everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And that's something that you really want.
Now from the 7-yard line.
And they're going to hand it off to Duke Johnson. And he'll go down right at the 4 for a gain of 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Watson, end zone, KJ Tucker for the Texans touchdown.
Touchdown, Houston. From 4 yards out, and the Texans have taken the early lead. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this 1st quarter has to feel pretty good.
That's feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team because we talk about complementary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game. Hey,
so here's the extra point after the touchdown, and it's good to put the Texans up 7-0.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0.
So the Texans set to get this one away.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And this one will not be returned, as this one will end up as a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before and realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well.
else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players.
Here's Dalvin Cook. And the Texans are there to bring him down for only a gain of 2 yards.
Brandon Dunn in on the stop. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing.
Cousins. And that one's going to be incomplete. That was great defense.
Hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football. Knowing full well, he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
On 3rd down, Cousins.
Cousins throwing and open. It's Kyle Rudolph on the left side
And he'll be out of
for a
bounds.
first down.
Get it up past the 45. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
I love the durability of Kyle Rudolph. He hasn't missed a game for the Vikings since 2014. Always on the field, always contributing. They keep calling him a dependable target. He can be that and more. And remember, in the overtime win against New Orleans in the playoffs last year, who caught the game-winning touchdown? That guy right there, Kyle Rudolph.
Cousins throwing. Adam Thielen's got it.
He's inside the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I don't care how you look at it, how you cut it, how you parse it. Adam Thielen continues to be an absolute marvel coming from where he did. Division III football.
And here's Dalvin Cook.
Receivers in the NFL.
And he picks up 6 yards on that run, so 2nd and 4.
Since he lost his old running mate Stephon Diggs to the Buffalo Bills. And a hamstring injury last year really held his numbers in check. His lowest receiving yardage since 2015. Look for another breakout from Adam Thielen.
Cousins throwing, and that one's incomplete.
A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Cousins, nobody's open, and that's incomplete.
Houston makes it 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. There'll be a
49-yard field goal for Bailey, and he's got it.
Down Broadway. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. Taken in the end zone.
And Carver, he's not going to return this one, as this one will end up as a touchback.
Again at the 25. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a play fake here on 1st down.
Watson, and that's intercepted.
His linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel.
Cousins throwing, and that's intercepted.
Now it's intercepted. Picked up by Darian Conley. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden.
And here's David Johnson. And he picks up a gain of 3 yards on that run. 2nd and 7.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, They have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line. The whole blockers off of them.
And Watson will go down.
From the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive.
Watson, and that one's tipped.
But the fifth guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away.
So now Houston's gonna punt this one away.
As he gets this one away.
And Allen, he's gonna let this one bounce, and they're gonna down it at the 19.
The 19-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1.
Cousins looking downfield for Adam Thielen, and that one's incomplete.
Incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins.
And Cousins will go down.
Down he goes, back at the 8-yard line.
If you rank 1 from the bottom in statistics, that's usually not good in this league. And this team, 1 from the bottom in sacks, but somehow they've got 3 in this game. What's going on?
I know, they're 31 of 32. They better be careful, or they're going to be top 30 in the league. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Cousins downfield, Thielen, and that's intercepted.
Intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the 1st half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
After the interception, here's Watson.
Watson wide open. KJ Tucker for the Texans touchdown.
Houston. Big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
You said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone.
Extra point is good, and now it's 14-3.
Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt.
So Fairbairn set to kick this one off. And this one's not going to be returned, and this one will be a touchback.
Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line. So
Cousins, and it's incomplete.
Off the ground now going forward. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins.
Cousins looking, and Kyle Rudolph's got it. And he'll go down right at midfield at the 50.
It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
1st down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, the really wide receivers.
Cousins gets hit as he throws, and that's caught for a first down, Minnesota.
Now coaches want to catch the football first. I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go.
And here's Dalvin Cook. And Dalvin Cook with some space. And he goes down inside the 10 to the 6.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays.
And it's pretty evident when you watch how Minnesota plays, just how important Dalvin Cook is to their offense. 1,000-yard rusher a year before, the first one the Vikings had since Adrian Peterson was dominating their carries. And having Cook in the lineup for the bulk of the season, that made Minnesota exactly what their head coach Mike Zimmer wanted them to be. A much more physical team.
Cousins, end zone, Adam Thielen for the Minnesota touchdown.
Adam Thielen, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have made this now a one-score game. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
So Minnesota makes this a tight game again. Extra point is good.
He's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score.
And Robertson, he's going to kick this one away.
Kick it away and turn things over to their D.
And Cobb, he's going to not return this one, as this one will end up as a touchback.
Start at the 25. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game.
And here's Duke Johnson. And he'll go down at the 28-yard line.
That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the gun, here's Watson.
Watson throwing. KJ Tucker again. And KJ Tucker, he's got a Houston touchdown.
In for a Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Extra point is good, and now it's 21-10.
That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone.
And the Texans, they're going to kick this one away.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And this one's not going to be returned, and this one will end up as a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10.
And here's Cook. And he goes down, which brings this one to the 2-minute warning.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here.
Cousins, and he'll go down.
The Texans able to get in there for the sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
3rd and 19, Cook.
And he'll get it
And he'll get this one to the 21, which brings up 4th down.
Team will now come out on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job
And Tucker,
done.
he's going to return this one. And he'll go down at the 28-yard line.
Back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1-minute offense? This is a good test right here.
Watson, and he finds Wes Montgomery. And he goes down at the 47 past midfield.
10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock. Give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson.
Watson throwing again to Montgomery.
Here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent game.
Watson takes a shot downfield. Montgomery for the Texans touchdown.
Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game, and the Texans will extend their lead.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half. Unbelievable.
And the lead is up to 18 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown.
So Bear Baron set to get this one away. And this one's not going to be returned, as this one will end up as a touchback.
He'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even
Cousins
tried.
finding Dalvin Cook here.
I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does,
And the Vikings are going to go ahead and use one of their timeouts.
and if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Throwing is Cousins.
Cousins over the middle of the field, and it's incomplete.
16 seconds now on the clock. They were looking for Johnson that time. And it's 3rd down.
Let's hear it, Texans fans, because it's 3rd down.
Cousins to throw.
Cousins, and that's incomplete.
Incomplete. 12 seconds left. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away.
And this one will be bouncing into the end zone with 5 seconds left.
Into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
20-yard line.
And Deshaun Watson and the Texans.
One final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room.
So the Houston Texans will be leading 28-10 at halftime, as they'll be looking for win number 1 of the season.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September.
All right, so up next, the 4 o'clock schedule begins as the 2-1 Rams looking to get the 3-1 as they host Daniel Jones and the Giants. Then we'll be in Las Vegas as the Raiders looking for win number 1 on the campaign as they host Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching is Deshaun Watson, who is the star of the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
What a first half for Houston. 4 touchdown passes thrown by Watson. Can he continue his absolute dominance? We're about to find out as the Texans get the ball to start the second half of play.
It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter.
And this one's not going to be returned, and this one will end up as a touchback.
This will be a touchback. And now out comes Houston.
They have lost 3 straight coming into this game, but they lead this one as they start the second half with the football.
At their own 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw.
Watson, and wide open is Montgomery. And Wes Montgomery, he's got a Texans touchdown.
Houston. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon. And the Texans push further out in front. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really
extra point is good, and Houston, a quick strike to start the second half.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25.
Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
So after the touchdown,
So Fairbairn now to kick this one off. And this one will not be returned, as this one will be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is...
And here's Dalvin Cook.
I bet they were pretty clinical at the
And he picks up a gain of 10 yards on that carry, which brings up 2nd and inches.
Because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down.
Cousins throwing. Adam Thielen's got it. And he'll go down inside the 50.
It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
So 1st and 10 after that pass to Thielen.
Cousins on first down.
Cousins and Adam Thielen with another reception.
To the 35. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a first down.
First down.
Cousins gives
And
away to
here's
Cook.
Dalvin Cook.
Some open field here.
And he goes down at the 21-yard line.
He's dropped. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Cousins and Justin Jefferson with the reception.
Down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
And here's Cook. But the Texans are there to make the stop.
Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. Cousins from the gun on third.
Cousins finding Cook. But I think he was short of the first, and he was.
It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary.
And here's Cook, and he will pick up a first down.
Had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal.
Cousins throwing. Justin Jefferson for the Vikings touchdown.
Justin Jefferson with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point.
So here's the extra point, and this one is good.
That'll cut the lead down now to 18. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this one's not going to be returned, as this one will end up as a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Houston set to take over. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drives exactly.
Duke Johnson.
But they have to be careful of.
And he'll go down right at the 26.
They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
And here's Johnson again.
He's upended after a gain.
And he only picks up a gain of a yard.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved.
Watson, and he's going to find Duke Johnson. And I don't think he got the first down. He was short.
But I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second.
And here's Allen on the return. And he will go down at the 28-yard line.
11 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet.
Cousins, and that's caught. Adam Thielen again.
That is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A first down throw for Cousins.
Cousins throws. Oh, and it was almost intercepted.
Johnson was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Cousins, and that one is intercepted. Now that one was all Adam Thielen. All he had to do was just hold on to it.
Interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed.
You gotta hold on to that if you're Adam Thielen.
Things are gonna pick up. I got this, but he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right.
And Duke Johnson on the ground. And he picks up only 3 yards.
6-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
And here's David Johnson.
And And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson.
Watson throwing and yo, how did Duke Johnson not catch that football? He was wide open. Wide open.
He just ran that one. Nice little angle route.
After he was talking about trying to get involved, he drops a wide open pass.
But he's got hands. He should have caught it.
And Duke Johnson, and he'll pick up a first down at least.
First down here as he's taken down at the 22. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
And here's Johnson. And he goes down at the 21.
No doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
On 2nd down
David Johnson, and he'll pick up a first down.
Sets him up 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting
Watson, and he'll find Duke Johnson here.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
At the Vikings 4-yard line.
A shotgun snap for
Watson, and he fumbled. And the Vikings pick it up.
Turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you.
Cousins, and that was going to be caught. The Kyle Rudolph on the left side for a first down.
Tuck it away because you've got to take care of the ball.
23 yards.
23 yards on the play.
First down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
The Vikings are down 2 touchdowns, well maybe 3. They need to score 3 touchdowns in order to win. Cousins, and oh man, that was disaster.
There defensively to knock it away was the safety Justin Reed. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Cousins throwing Justin Jefferson.
Complete and taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 16 yards, a first down.
Well, the evidence is once again presented why he was such a top target at LSU, and Justin Jefferson carrying that over to the NFL. He's what a lot of people call a natural pass catcher.
Cousins throwing. Adam Thielen's got it again.
The air, and at the moment of truth, go up and take it from a defensive back. This guy is smooth.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Cousins at and there goes the flag.
We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
Cousins, and that's incomplete.
Is incomplete. Justin Jefferson, the rookie, his intended receiver. 3rd down here.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Cousins finding Justin Jefferson.
And he'll be brought down at the 21.
If this was going to be short of the first down, and the Vikings are going to have to go for it.
It's 4th down. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
Cousins, and that's caught.
Just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
And here's Dalvin Cook. And he goes down and the ball game is over. The Houston Texans with win number 1.
Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it.
And the Vikings, tough loss here, but they're gonna drop to 0-4.
They also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Texans, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they'll get another home date next week as the Jaguars will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire...
Well, how about the Houston Texans going out there playing their best game as they get their first win on the new season with a 35-17 win at home over the Vikings. And in week number 5, they'll have a chance to get 2 in a row as they host the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Vikings, they're going to fall here and they'll drop to 0-4. So they're going to have to continue grinding to try to get their first W. You can see Watson played a good game, 337 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. Cousins, he almost got 3 passing touchdowns, but he couldn't get it. So he threw for 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He didn't play that bad. Here's the rushing game. Dalvin Cook, 59 yards rushing. Duke Johnson, 22 yards rushing. David Johnson, 20 yards rushing. Here's the receiving. KJ Tucker, 4 catches, 149 yards, 3 touchdowns. Wes Montgomery, 4 catches, 146 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Adam Thielen, 7 catches, 108 yards, and a touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, 3 catches, 68 yards. Justin Jefferson, 4 catches, 47 yards, and his first NFL touchdown. Brandon Cooks, a catch for 31 yards. Tajay Sharp, a catch for 27 yards. Dalvin Cook, 2 catches, 14 yards. And Duke Johnson, 2 catches for 11 yards. And you guys, this is going to do it for the 1 o'clock schedule here in week number 4. So if you don't know what happened, don't worry. You'll be able to see every single 1 o'clock game in this playlist, because that was the final game on the 1 o'clock schedule as we turn our focus to the 4 o'clock schedule. First game begins in California as the Rams host the Giants. Then in Las Vegas where the Raiders host the Bills. And then in Kansas City where the undefeated Chiefs host DeAndre Crawford and the New England Patriots. Then the Sunday game will be in Santa Clara as the 49ers host the Eagles. And then to finish off week 4, we have the Green Bay Packers as they host Josh Martin and the Atlanta Falcons. So we only have 5 more games left, folks, until week 4 has come to a close. But if you enjoyed this final game on the 1 o'clock schedule, make sure to smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And next episode, you already know, the 4 o'clock schedule begins. But good thing we ended the 1 o'clock schedule, because the 4 o'clock schedule is up next. We're almost done with week number 4.